Hello, good people. Of course, we always wait half second to make sure we're streaming. I believe we are. But if you're seeing me, hello. How's everybody doing? Not a whole lot tonight, guys. Not a whole lot tonight, man. We just basically really one topic to get into tonight. We got started a little later. Life happens. But here we are. The topic pretty much will be what you see in the title there. Thoughts on EA Play set for July 22nd. We'll just give our thoughts on what that means to EA Play, what that means for Madden and other games. And is that a sign? Is that a bad sign? I know some are saying that, but we'll dive all into that. Other than that, again, really don't have a whole lot of topics to talk about, but we'll do our normal introductions. I think Smitty has something that he wants to get into before we dive into that topic. So more than likely, a shorter show than normal, unless you guys throw us some comments or throw us some topics in the comments. But without further ado, I'll throw it to Smitty, man. How's everything going? How's your week been? Anything you want to get into before we dive into the main topic there?
No, week been good, man. I'm happy about the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? We lost, and with us losing, that basically helped us potentially from being in a possible losing record scenario where we would be real close to like at least a good 4 or 5 teams. So when it comes down to that lottery, the more losses we have, the better. So the Wolves beating us last night. Well, was that last night or the night before last or whatever? Yeah. But them beating us, that was great. So hopefully, because the way this whole lottery works now is not just, you get that losing record and you dang near guaranteed a top pick. So it doesn't necessarily go that way. So I seriously hope that we do come away with a top 3 pick. If we could get number 1, that'd be phenomenal. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we need that pick because we just gave Dwayne Casey the extension. So he's here through, I think, the 2024 season, I think. And I mean, he's not doing a bad job of coaching the team. He's definitely developing these players. So they're definitely getting reared up. So we just got to see what happens. You know what I mean? How everything builds up. And hopefully we can get a cornerstone player in this lottery. So we get one of them top 3 picks. That's phenomenal. You know what I mean? So we can make something happen this year, going into next. Lions wise, the only thing that sucks is that my man Sewell won't be able to go to the rookie camp because he contracted COVID. So unfortunately, he got to stay back. Yeah. So it's like, while everybody else, all the other picks are going to, coming on in and getting ready to get it in, our top guy can't do nothing yet. So, but he'll get his opportunity. You know what I'm saying? He just got to wait a little bit and then he'll get his chance. So, excuse me. So, I mean, other than that, like I'm just happy about them, and I can't wait for football to start up. I ain't worried about the schedule, man. Look, my feeling is Lions at best will get 5-6 wins. I believe they're a 5 to 6 win team right now. I mean, yeah, the worse they do, the better when it comes to the draft, especially this coming year because they have the 2 first-round picks. But even with that being said, 2 first-round picks are still 2 first-round picks. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you draft and see the key thing, and I've said it before and I'll, keep saying it, it all is going to come down to how these players are developed as the season progresses, how the coaching is, how these guys progress. Because if these guys progress in a good way, then I'm really going to be excited for the draft. Because whoever it is they bring in, I'm just going to have that much more confidence, in them going forward. And, just like what Casey's doing with the Pistons, like, yeah, the Pistons lost, but they were competitive. And you saw the rookies. I mean, all of the rookies did good. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all showcase promise, like they can actually be legit pieces in this franchise. And now, now we're potentially in position to get a top 3 pick and bring him into the fold. And now we could really start building this team and galvanizing the troops and now really going for something instead of just losing. So looking forward to that. But now, the other thing I want to get into, though, real quick before we, like I said, it's a lighthearted show. But what I want to touch on is, like, look, this thing, okay? In this online, this online stuff, and I'm going to be brief with it. I'm not going to be long-winded. But if you want to look at the transcript, it was a discussion that was going back and forth. It started with a tweet that I had made to Mole regarding a pick 6 play he had in Madden, playing a head-to-head game. And it was back on early Monday morning, like I would say 4 or 5 in the morning, something like that or whatever. I posted a tweet, and I was talking about pass control because he picked off a little short yardage pass, but the pass was like thrown on a beeline straight to the receiver with the defender lurking right there. And I'm like, It would be nice, even though it was basically like trying to fit the square peg through the round hole kind of situation. I still was saying it would be nice to have a pass control where I could try and throw an arcing pass like over and away, even though it's close, but over and away. So even if the ball is tipped and picked off, at least my receiver has a legit chance of getting it instead of it being a surefire pick. Like in the way Madden works right now, it's a surefire pick. So I put up a post and I publicly put it out there so everybody can see it. I didn't DM him, none of that. I just was like, I'm gonna reply and I want to see what Mo has to say. Now, the thing is, guys, if you're going to be on social media platforms like Twitter and stuff like that, and you have options in terms of who can reply, what can be, if you want your tweets not to be able to be retweeted or quoted, you have that option. If you want to limit who can or cannot see your tweets, you have that option to pick it. But when you just post tweets and anybody can see it, anyone can reply to it, anyone can comment about it, you leave yourself open for that to happen. People can do that. Whether they agree with you, disagree with you, like what you say, dislike what you say. But when you get upset because
who got upset? Mo?
Bills. No.
Oh,
Mo's fine. Bills got mad. See, he got upset because shout out to Obi Watson. I don't know if he's in here or not, but he had a podcast and I got on his podcast and we were talking about Returnal. And there was a point that Bills had made, and I was having a discussion with him. And I brought his name up and I was talking about him and what he said on that, regarding the game. But it was based off of what he said publicly. Public discussion, public posts. So the thing about the Mole thing was I put up the post in regards to Mole, and Bills and another guy chimed in on what I said. And it wasn't until I brought up 2K, then they were like, oh my gosh, here you go bringing up 2K. And I'm like, well, yeah, 2K has the best pass control. So I'm going to use 2K as my reference point because they do it the best. So I'm making this point regarding Madden, but the point was I was only replying to Mole. It was just something I was saying to him, but people can intercede and say whatever they want. And I don't care, but it's one thing when you have issue because I talked about something you said in another avenue, and this is where I'm transitioning to Bills now. It's one thing when you have a problem, because I said that he has a tendency to act like he's the smartest guy in the room. Everything he says is he'll make a point, and he's done this a multitude of times. He'll make a point and act like it's the point. Anything you say is not going to match what he's saying or even be in the same realm of what he's saying. So he tries to downplay your point. And it's like, but it's still relevant though. But he'll keep saying, he'll keep trying to denounce it. And it's like he'll try so hard to do that. And that was the point that I was basically making on Watson's podcast. And the thing is, what the point I'm saying this to you guys is this. In this broad scope of stuff, if people have a public opinion about something you say, and they all of a sudden want to call you all out your name, get all tough and everything, all of a sudden to the point where they say, we could take it offline and I'll see you personally.
Yo,
yeah,
how I miss all of this? See, guys, that's
hey, you don't be on Twitter.
I don't be on. I be missing all of that stuff, man.
Hey,
dang.
He was like, because I was like, look, it's funny. It's funny when other people do it, and Bills, myself, VF, or whoever are all pointing at other parties. Look at this dude being a keyboard warrior. Look at this dude being an e-thug and all that. Look at all the Twitter finger going on. It's one thing when you're pointing at somebody else, but now when you're the one doing it, and I call it out, now, I'll see you in person. If you honestly think for 1 second that I'm going to even remotely waste any kind of energy on, I'm going to fight somebody over because you beat up over a take regarding a video game, bruh, that you got some issues, man. If that's the case, that ain't the kind of, listen, if you can't handle, and the thing is, my man Bills wants to be a musician. He's out here, he got records out here and everything. So what happens when a reviewer says something you don't like? Well, you gonna fight them too? You're gonna show up to them. Oh, I got something for your editor. What you gonna do? You're gonna get a donkey of the day. That's the most you're gonna be. That's gonna be the biggest height of your popularity because you're trying to square off because somebody has an opposing viewpoint regarding you or a personal unsavory commentary about something you did or said. And that's why I said a few days ago, I said, like, if you post something on a public forum and you have an issue with what's being said about what you say on public forum, then you shouldn't be on it. Period. That's like, we just had the NFL draft. What if Booger McFarland had a different take regarding a particular football player that Mel Kiper had a different view on, and they have an opposing viewpoint? Booger could think that Mel is crazy about something or whatever. Is Mel gonna run up on him on the set and start tagging him because of it? Like, that'd be the dumbest thing ever. That would be, I'm like, what's the problem? Like, dude, he can disagree. It's okay. But let me just say this. When you really think you about that action and you want to be about that action on some real talk, and it's not being funny, like, because it is a legit concern. And just like what Master P said when he did his No Limit Chronicles thing, before No Limit started, he went out there, got into an altercation in a club, trying to promote his stuff, got into an altercation, pulled out his strap, and it didn't go off. Pulled the trigger and everything. Rounds in there, all that. It didn't go. Left the scene, and he had a clear shot too. He was going to let it rip. Left the scene, pulled up to in the alley, whatever, and he said he got out, pulled the gun out, started firing into the ground. Bullets came out like it was nothing. And he immediately said, if that thing, that had to be God, because if that thing let go, No Limit, all that stuff y'all seeing, never would have happened. Because that would have been a wrap for me. It would have ended before it even started. And see, I'll say that to make this point. People that do all that tough guy stuff, there's always going to be somebody tougher. You want to come out here and be the keyboard warrior, you can be whatever you want to online. But when you on that, oh, I'm going to see you and I'll come through and all that stuff, stop with all that. Because you'll come across somebody that will see you. And if you come across somebody that'll see you, there's only one of three places. You either going to end up in a jail, in a hospital, or dead somewhere. Because there ain't no future in that. All that tough guy stuff. So just learn to live your life. And one other thing too. I just want to say this as well. Let me make this clear. I've said this to Sim before, and I've went on record talking to a multitude of cats that don't like what we say, oppose us, made videos about us, everything. Simhead United cats had all kinds of cash talk to say back then. What did I say? I made a personal video. It was like, yo, y'all got a problem? See me on Skype. Here's my alias on there. Hit me up. We'll chat. I didn't say Sim Azure, y'all got to be there. I didn't say anybody else. I said, see me. If it's a problem, we'll talk. And I've talked to a multitude of cats that acted like that over the years. Many people. Just because I don't make it to someone's show, and I don't like this online thing that people do. If you don't make somebody's show or you don't make an appearance somewhere, that means you're scared. Or that means you're afraid of them, or you were going to be exposed or some junk like that. That doesn't. Sim is a family man. I'm a family man. Azure ain't been on here for months. Is he scared of us or something? Is that by that kind of logic? Is he afraid of us? Is he scared to face you guys in public? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Bills, you got two co-hosts. VF is a family man. DJ, as far as I know, he's single, but he can miss shows too. Was he scared that week? Was he too intimidated of your presence, Bills, or something? Like, come on. Don't do that. Don't do that. I've talked to people far and wide online over the years. If I see anybody, Relly, perfect example. We had the heated discussions and stuff, and he's thrown FUs at me on Twitter and everything like that. And I still love that cat. If I saw him, yo, what's going on, Relly? How you been, man? Everything good? That's all it's going to be. If I see Yo Mama, as crazy as that dude be acting online, if I saw him in person, man, you was a fool for how you made a mockery of that video, man. You a clown.
Boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've seen him at EA Play. I saw him in action. He don't do all that riffraff nonsense when he actually want to get some attention. He know how to act normal, just like everybody else know how to act normal. So act like you have sense, act normal, chill with all that online thuggery nonsense like you that guy. You're not. Because if you was, like I said online, if you was that guy, you be in jail. You be in jail or dead. That's just facts. You know what I'm saying? Look, everybody ain't come from the silver spoon household and white picket fences. Some people came from the gutter and all that stuff, and they came from some rough enough situations, or know some people that came from rough enough situations and know if you really about that action, you ain't gonna have much of a future unless you get on the right track and you get your mind right and you operate a different way. So I just wanted to say that to say this is an example. Chill with all that tough stuff and everything like that, because like I said, there are people out here that will entertain that. And while you sitting at home thinking, oh, it ain't nothing but a thing, and I'm just going to say this out here, somebody will see you on it. And it may not be what you ask for, what you bargain for. You may get in over your head. So cut all that stuff out. And I'm like, if anybody want to be on that tip, that ain't it, dog. That ain't it. You see people lose their life. You see people go online losing their lives and livelihoods over some silly stuff that don't amount to a hill of beans. It ain't that deep, especially over a video game. Please, it's never going to be that deep. So, just wanted to express, that point. And it just, that situation was just like, let me just throw my my pocket change on that.
Yeah, man. I don't have much to say. I didn't really know about the situation. Only thing I will say is, hopefully Smitty and Bills, can work it out. Because I kind of feel like it's kind of like what Smitty said. I don't think it ever should get to that type of point where it's like verbal wars, over the internet. It can't be that serious. I mean, we're not talking about anything serious.
Right.
So, but that's all I would say, because I don't know the full extent of the situation, so I won't speak on behalf of him or Smitty. But I will just say, for all of us out here, should never get that serious. The same reason why some of you guys have and continue to ask me why I don't speak to certain people and why I won't watch certain. That's why, because some of those individuals, not Bills, not to me, but some of those other individuals that you guys talk about, they've done all of that towards me, and it's to me it's comical. But to me, it ain't worth it. What's the point? That's it. Like I said, I don't know. I won't go any deeper than that, because I'm hearing it from the first time right here as Smitty was saying it. So I'll be neutral in the sense of I don't know what got it to that point. I would just say, we don't need to do all that. What I will agree with Smitty is if we're at the point where we're calling people out of their names and challenging them to a duel, I mean, why? I mean, why? There's no point in that, whatever the case may be. But that's all I got. Let's see. Do I have anything else outside of the main topic? Not really. My man Philly in here was telling me that our Sixers are losing. I told y'all, man, listen, I think the Sixers are going to be a force perhaps in the playoffs, but I don't have no championship aspirations. I just don't. I have liked how they've looked under Doc Rivers, but I don't know. I just still feel like there's something missing. Even if it's as simple as the ability to close out. Like they had the ability might have been last night or the night before. They could have clinched the number one spot and they lose. It's like I just don't see that fight. I've seen a Philly team for the last 3 years that can ball for a period. They can go on a run for a certain extent. They can put up points. This is a new looking Joel Embiid. I will say that. This is the best I've seen Joel Embiid play from game to game. Really love that. But it's something missing to me as far as personality of the team. Like I don't always see that get up to play mentality from them. And I could be dead wrong, but maybe some of you guys know what I'm saying. I just don't see that kill streak from them. I love teams. For example, let's talk about football. I know, the Patriots are always a hated team, in their heyday. But one thing I always appreciated about the Patriots that I didn't like about what my Steelers couldn't do was they used to keep their foot on their gas. When the Patriots had you, the Patriots had you. You know what I'm saying? I miss that. Then when the Patriots had you, they had you, bruh. And they was going to keep running the score up. And when they needed to win, they was going to win. And I always respect that from any team, whether it's football, basketball, whatever the sport may be. I love a team that could just put you away. And I just don't have that feeling with the Sixers. I just don't, man. And a lot of times when they're in these must-win situations, or not even a must-win, but again, you got an opportunity to clinch the number one spot. And, you piss it away. I can't say it no cleaner than that. Like that's how I feel. They piss it away. And like my man said tonight, here they are. And oh man, shout outs to Antoine, man, coming through with the donation like always. Cowboy fan there. But yeah, man, they just, let me see. Aaron Wells says what's missing is Ben Simmons' ability to shoot. Yeah. That too. And that's the reason why I'm always gonna be hesitant for my guys, man, going deep, because listen, they got some shooters around them this year. I think, I've said this early on, but I love bringing in Seth Curry. Tobias has been balling this year, and a couple other pieces around them. I even like bringing in, Dwight Howard as a body that can go out there and get some fouls for you and stuff like that. But your main superstars in today's NBA, they both got to be able to take the game over and be able to shoot. Not just Ben Simmons being Ben Simmons. You've got to have a threat of somebody else that can at least just a little threat, just a threat from a mid-range. You know what I mean? And without having that, I think you're going to always have teams that will figure out how to defend them, let Joel do what he do, and force the others, like Shaq would say, to do what they do. And that's how you probably beat the Sixers. But, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us.
They got to play Orlando. If they lose this game, they got to play Orlando twice. And then that's it. There's only 2 more games. Excuse me. 2 more games after tonight. So
boys could have clinched the other night, man. That's what I'm saying. Go get it. Yeah. Go lock it up. And then y'all can sit back a little bit. But, and look at the Lakers.
Well,
how surprising was that to me that they messed around? I thought the Knicks was going to get them the other night. And here they came back. Well, was that last night or the night before? Because I was watching the game at first, and it was tight to halftime. Then I said, I ain't going to watch this.
I think it was the night before.
Might have been the night before, yeah. And I was like, look at this. How they pull it out. And I don't know. I will say that too real quick, Smitty, since we ain't really had nothing else to talk about tonight anyway.
Go ahead.
People still holding out for the Lakers. Look, man. At this point, honestly, they not really supposed to be in the conversation. I mean, they did their thing last year, and I know, some will put an asterisk on it. Kind of how I feel about the bubble. Yeah, it was kind of whack how that season went, but I got to say this. At the end of the day, once you made it to the bubble, I still have to give credit for whatever team came out of there because y'all all were under the same conditions. So I have to do that. Now, do we want to say, is that as a good of a championship in our eyes as fans? You might hold that against LeBron, and I understand that. Like, I won't debate anybody there, but like I said, I still got to give the team credit that went in the bubble and is under the same circumstances as everybody else, and they won. I got to give that team credit. But this Lakers team, and once LeBron went down for a decent amount of time, and once 80, like, come on, man. And the way that you saw that they just couldn't even eke out any wins without them, they're not going to repeat, folks.
They're
not happening.
If they can be healthy, excuse me, the LeBron and AD, that's the key. See, that's the
they
problem.
Got a chance now. If they healthy.
They got a chance with them being healthy. Yeah, like
no doubt.
the problem is that they put this team together predicated on them two being there, like the majority of the time. And the thing is, the team looked like they were coming together on their own.
I like the addition of Schroeder too. That was smart.
Yeah, like they
and Drummond.
Yeah, like they added Drummond. They got some good pieces. Well, Montrezl Harrell is over there too. So I mean, they added some guys. It's just that they don't.
Like that dude, man.
Who?
Harrell.
Oh yeah.
It's not a direct comparison, but I think you will appreciate this. I like him the same way I liked Ben Wallace. Just a hard-nosed player. He do the scrappy stuff. Ain't nobody ever gonna talk about him being no great player, but they do what they do. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Ben Wallace, man. I mean, listen, it's hard to think that they win without him. They needed that piece, what he brought to the table.
No. Yeah.
But them dudes don't never get the respect they deserve.
Yeah, no, Ben. I mean, Ben earned. I get what you're saying. That parallel, Ben had to make it it's okay to be the defender. He
Yeah.
had to make it. He had, and it's true. It's something that's not truly valued, but he made it like, no, you're gonna respect this. You know what I'm saying? That I'm gonna play on this end of the floor here. So yeah. But and that's crazy. I forgot. I just watched the special the other day. I didn't even know about it. That happened during All-Star weekend. The class of 96. They did the special on that. I forgot Ben was part of that class. He was in that 96 class. So
I didn't know that either.
I forgot because he went undrafted and everything. And that's like, and see, so you know that, but see the but players like that, grit and grind kind of player. He's solid. And like you said, it's not something that's going to be highly valued like that. But no, what I wanted to say was, as a team, they look like they were gelling together a bit outside of LeBron and AD. Like you saw Schroeder stepping up, KCP stepping up, Harold doing his thing. The rookie that they got over there, I can't think of my man's name right now, but they what's my man's what's the name? Taylor Horton Tucker. Like he
this gonna sound terrible, but I'm about to say that light skinned cat.
Yeah.
That's not colorism, folks, but that's who I'm talking about. I just remember him because he's a light skinned guy. I'm just saying.
And they got Kuzma over there too still. So it's like,
hey, you know what, man? I just want to grab Kuz like this, man. Hey, yo, that dude, if y'all ever watch this guy, man, when the dude is on like basically if you want to say he's hot for the night, this cat be making all kinds of shots.
Yeah.
But then he'll disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, boy, if Kuz could just be, I'm not saying be a superstar every night, but if he could just be consistent, Lakers could be a problem, man.
But see, you know what though? Part of the problem to a degree was the LeBron effect.
Yeah.
Because look at my man Julius Randle.
Oh,
they got rid of him.
I'm so happy for Jules, man.
You know what I'm saying? But see, that's the point. The LeBron effect. He never would have shined with LeBron there. Yeah. But then he go to New York, them cats in the playoffs. And Julius looks like a bona fide star.
I've been liking that dude since college, man. I am really happy for him, man. Yeah. I am really happy for him.
So see,
getting off.
That I believe is a huge chunk of it, because if Kuzma was on an island and they were like, "Hey, yo, Kuz, we need you to be that guy," I bet you he would show you, and he would give you that consistent, much more consistent production and be that dude. But with LeBron and AD there's no way he's really going to be that guy like that. Like it's not going to happen. So
that's fair.
But but you're right. But excuse me. But I mean, and that's what I'm saying. They have all these luxury players, but they all got to take that back seat once LeBron and AD hit the floor. So, especially what's going to happen in a playoff situation? Are they going to really defer to these role players like that got capability, or are they just? You see what I'm saying? So that's the other part of it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Solid team. If they make it out, they can. I mean, they can.
That West is deep, boy.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough. It's gonna be a tough ride. Don't get me wrong, but they can do it. They got the capability. They definitely got the talent. So we'll see. But it'll be a fun one. It'll be a fun playoffs. I'm really looking at the Suns, man. I wanna see what those guys are gonna do. Them and the Jazz.
CP3 need to get out of the first round, man.
Yeah, he does.
I'm just saying.
He does.
I love him to death, but you know how we judge sports, the figures, and so he's got to go a little further.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
But yeah, man.
But yep.
Nice little basketball talk there for you guys, man.
Yep.
We don't really have nothing else to be other than the title there.
Yeah,
and I guess I could kick that off. EA Play, for you guys that don't know, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Smitty, if I say anything that's not accurate, but from what we're hearing, that it will be, they will be premiering, you know, their EA Play and their EA games, of course, on the 22nd. Which, if I'm not mistaken, that would mean that they won't be a part of E3.
Right.
Which we've already heard that before anyway, and I can't remember if that was the case not last year, but I already heard that at one point they were thinking about pulling themselves away from E3 anyway. So that's not unusual. Some people are concerned with it being late, being in July, and taking a little bit longer. I kind of see it on two different sides of the coin. It could be a negative thing, could be a positive thing. If you want to talk about it being negative, what you might say is, why are they waiting so long to show their stuff? Well, it goes back to what we've said in the past, or what I said about, you know, Madden 21 or Next Gen releasing when it did. You got to kind of look at it like this as well. It's a delay cycle. Whether some people want to admit that or not, it is. That's not an excuse, though. I'm not giving them an excuse. If they don't deliver on the stuff that we're expecting them to deliver on, then I'm not going to say, oh, well, I understand. No. Y'all knew this was going to be a delay cycle. You knew it was going to, not delay, but shortened. You knew it would be a shortened cycle when you knew you were going to the new consoles. I don't want to hear it. You still better deliver what it is that you said you were delivering.
Yep.
And that's just that. Now it could be a good thing. I look at it like this. The later we see the game, that's better for you guys in terms of, I don't want to say the fans, but in terms of the consumers. Because Smitty and I know that if they are delaying the time in which they go to EA Play, that means it will be a tighter build of the game will be on display. So that's actually a good thing for us. Just to make this short and sweet, y'all know where I am with Madden, man. I'm actually playing it now, just fooling around with it, man. Just, you know, tinkering with the new rosters. And it's like, just seeing why I can't play this game for long. It just doesn't have. Yeah, I'm about to cut it off and go right back to MLB, man. But y'all know where I'm at with Madden. It's surprised me now. It's no more, man, I hope they do. I'm past that. Me and Smitty have seen too much behind the scenes to still have that, man, I hope they address this. Because what we want them to address is way deeper than what most people are asking for. We know the root. So if y'all really want me to say what I want to see in 22, I need to see the core gameplay stuff. I need to see that you're getting further and further away from two-man animations and dice rolls that override everything, including control. I need to see you get more engaged with having more physical components to the game. Physics being more of a factor. I need to see that progression. Maybe you don't get it 100% in 22, but I need to see a change from what's delivered in 21, and we can physically look and say, oh, okay, I see they're trying to address this more and more. They're trying to allow more control, more one-to-one. If I don't see that, it's not really, it's not going to be that exciting to me, whatever they do. That's just gameplay-wise. Again, make physics more dominant, work on eliminating the best you can, the two-man sequences that dictate the outcome. Not saying you can't have animations. I'm just saying that sequences, when it's that chained together sequence that automatically plays out, you got to get rid of that. If you had those two things alone in Madden 21, we would be appreciating this game way more. So that's what I want to see on the gameplay front. Just those two things. At least let's see us going in that direction. And I know it's a million other things we want. Yes. But understand, listen to what I'm saying, folks. We used to talk about player movement. That's gotten a lot better, especially on next gen, and you can still improve on that. Now the aim has to be physics mattering at all times. Two-man sequences do not override outcomes, and you allow the game to play out naturally. And oh yes, by the way, AI. We need to see better AI, particularly in zones. Let's stop making these guys cover grass just because that's their assignment. I want to see what you told us years ago. They are thinking on the fly. Now, from a franchise standpoint, I want to see depth. Let's be real, it's not going to be a ton, but I want to see at least everything that you said that y'all were working on for 22. I need to see that commitment. So if we can get the gameplay to start being more organic with the things I just named, and they deliver on those franchise things that they said that they will be working on in 22, okay. Then we'll play the game for ourselves and see what we think about it. But other than that, I wouldn't read too much into, man, the EA Play thing being delayed. I know we always want to find a reason to. And here's the funny thing. I got to say this. It's always the people, it seems like, that don't like Madden are the ones that are the most critical about when they show their stuff. It's like you waiting to be like, oh, see, it's trash. Like, I don't get that. It should be more like how I'm approaching it and how Smitty's approaching it is like, all right, let's just see what they got. I mean, because again, you always want to leave the door open for them to deliver a good game. What if they deliver a good game and then you got to go back? Like, let's just see what they do. It's either going to be good and improved or it's not. So to me, it don't matter when they show it. Honestly, I don't need to see it until later. Give us the information, though. I would like you to continue on your same information cycle. But I don't need to see it until later. Who cares? I don't care how long you wait. Just deliver and give us the info. I would like to get info before July, just so we kind of know. Well, here's the main reason why I want to see that. I would like to get some details. And by the way, EA, if you're listening, why don't you kick it off with a bang and deliver franchise first? I would like to see what they're doing and where the game is going and what the ... say on the article. So when I do see it, I can identify those things. That's it. But as far as when they show it to me, I don't care. The true test will be when we see it anyway. Or whenever we play it anyway, because you already know the trailers never tell the story. A little bit. The trailers will tell you if if some of them two-man sequences are still there. We'll be able to spot that. But that's it, man. It don't matter to me that it's delayed or just my thoughts.
Yeah.
What you guys submitted?
Yeah, I'll just say like excuse me, like what you said there. Everything you said was spot on with it. Like looking at where this game is at, where it's been, everything that's been in the game, good, bad, ugly, all that. The thing is, like I was saying, the quad face in there, we don't need to see the game. We don't need to see any gameplay elements that are currently there regress. We don't need to see, I know people complain about the player movement. We don't need to see it regress. You just got to get used to that. If they take that out, it's a wrap. Like it's dead. It's dead. So that's one. Core gameplay. I mean, we've been now. We didn't drove that. You know what I mean? Give us pass controls. Open it up with the animations. That will go a mighty long way. I'm not even going to get sophisticated and say, yo, give us that, targeted limb injury system. Y'all should have that. But if they don't, I'm not, would I be would I be truly upset if they didn't? No. But if you can make physics matter in all elements, like make the joints and the limbs accountable at all times. Yeah. Or at least the strive to do it. I know you're not going to hit 100%, but the strive to do it. goes millions of miles if y'all do it. And I mean, like Sim said, franchise mode stuff. Clearly, there's going to be some kind of offense and defensive coordinator stuff from the Sean Grady, video back then, what he had in the background. And we all know that was on purpose for him having that on screen back there. But what are they going to be allowed to do? How much slack are the powers that be going to let them have? That's basically it.
That's the question.
You know what I'm saying? And outside of that, when are we going to hear something from 2K? Will we hear something from 2K beforehand in regards of their football game? Since it's not till July 22nd, I mean, that would be that'd be dang near when Madden drops. Usually, beginning of August, first, second week of August or whatever, or unless they're doing toward the end of August again, then yeah, like, I mean, so we got to see what happens there. But I mean,
still really close to the release, even if it's late August, you're still talking about like a month.
Yeah, because it pretty much the game's done.
Yeah.
By that point, it's done and it's about to go out. So yeah, but so I mean, and see, this is the other thing too. Development wise, how much is truly going to be done? Because remember, there's a whole lot of people out here that do not have an Xbox Series X or a PS5. So, because of the shortages and all that stuff or whatever, the scalpers and such and everything. So what, how is it going to be? Is it still going to be pushed forward for next gen real hard and just really take their foot off the gas on this current gen and it being more of a static forward progress as far as, previous gen and more pedal to the metal on next gen? Like, how are they scaling it? So we got to see how that plays out as well. But yeah, we just need the depth all around. And this pretty much is just going to be, look, show us what you got when you got it. Because like what Sim had tweeted, I've retweeted, liked, I'm looking forward to that Battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Lord have mercy.
That's what, and see, I want to see what next gen experience they're talking about. What are they going to bring forth? See, that's what, as we said before, the portfolio diversifies. Sim talking about MLB The Show, people in the chat talking about it over here too. And it's like Battlefield, you got that to play. And, that's going to be on the horizon. People are going to be looking forward to that. And and also, what's 2K going to bring to the table? You know what I mean? Somebody said in the chat here, what about NBA Live possibly? We still don't know what OG's job is.
I'm good on that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm being honest. I'm good. Because they don't have a good track record, man. Every time they stop and pick back up, they just. I'm good on it.
Yeah, no, man. But I'm just saying,
I would love for it to be something, but I just don't believe it, man.
No, the only reason why I'm saying is just like, look, is OG working on it? We don't know his job title or Rob Jones. We don't know what they're doing. I mean, we know these guys are producers and stuff like that, but for what? You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing. Like, yeah, we could all say, oh, well, of course it's basketball because they came from 2K, but it could be for Madden because, like, we've said in the past, Scott OG has a great football pedigree. And
yeah, he does.
Rob Jones, he worked on Madden back then too. So it's like it could be there for Madden as far as we know. We don't know for sure. So who knows what they're working on? So yeah, just gonna have to wait and see. And I mean, look, I'm optimistic, but cautious with the optimism. for as far as basketball is concerned with EA's name on it, because like what Sim said, and I mean, hey, I've said plenty of times, and many others have said, NBA Live right now is a dead franchise. It is a dead franchise, not just because it just hasn't been pumped out in terms of games, just the quality of the game has just been poor. So if they're going to come through, like if they're going to make a debut, they have to make a debut, a stellar one, reintroduce themselves. Like if they put out a video, they got to use Jay, you know what I'm saying? They got to put Jigga on that joint. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Like it's got to be like, if you're going, it's got to be that kind of caliber. If it's not, if the game is not, I mean, then no, no hype machine. So, but I mean, other than that, man, I mean, there's no real, you know, we ain't got no fight night. We looking for ESBC for that. They got, man. I'm looking forward to whenever they do another video. I guess there is going to be more videos. Apparently, there's going to be another fighter unveiling at some point. Shout out to Boxing Fanatico, listening to him, and yeah, I think just him, not from what he's been reporting, always been informed of. So we'll see what happens as far as that.
That game gonna be crazy, dog.
Yeah, that game's gonna
be like, I think it's gonna be like something we've never seen before, man. Especially in the combat fighting realm. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Sam. If those guys honestly give us like a legit attempt at emulating all of these boxers and their styles and things like that, and how they move and how they punch and all that, and how just their movement around the ring. Like, what if those legends, like, what if you actually got Larry Holmes moving the way he moves, and Riddick Bowe, yeah, and like you got Riddick moving the way Riddick does, and how he moves is different from Muhammad Ali and all that. Like that, man, come on, dog. That'll be unheard of. See, all due respect to Maximum Football, but if you're going to make a game, and I know they weren't going after Madden, but the point is that if you're going to make a game that's going to be in that space, that's how you do it. You have to come with it. Like, you have to bring it. They're bringing it in ways UFC doesn't even bring it. The way it looks. No hands on yet, but even if I looked at UFC in comparison to that ESBC, insane. All the RPM tech they got, it looks nothing like what those guys did. That's unbelievable. Like I got to see some more gameplay, dude. I want to demo it. I want that thing to come out.
Early access. We need it.
Yeah, we need it now. You know what I'm saying? We need a demo or something until the early access. Like, shoot, but no, man. And see, that's the thing. We have new games on the horizon. We have better games that are going to be coming out. Why sit in one spot on Madden or whatever? Or even if you got issues with NBA 2K, why act like you stuck?
I'm playing a better game right now.
Right. See?
It's called MLB The Show.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
having a grand old time.
I've started playing it, and you know that show, man, that amazing. Absolutely, positively amazing game. And I'm just in practice and everything like that. I got to practice a little bit, but then I will start streaming some Detroit Tigers. As terrible as our team is, man, I'm gonna try to do a better job than Alavila. You know what I'm saying? It's like we are terrible right now. Gosh, it's gonna be frustrating to play with that team because
Pirates ain't doing much better, brother.
Oh no, you're better than us. You know what I'm saying? So y'all much better than we are. So, but that's our whole thing, man. You know,
VA, what's up, man?
You know,
seen him in a minute.
Yeah, the boxing. Oh, he said EA play what? Oh yeah, no, it's been announced. I guess Kia being
no
funny.
games.
Yeah, like
and Kia, man, hope that ankle is doing better, brother.
Yeah, man.
Just wanted to respond really quick to Luke. Look, man, we're not saying it's gonna expect the same game. I'm just saying, I don't know, man. I feel like we repeat this so many times, but what the heck? Why not? We'll repeat it again. Where Madden is currently, it shouldn't take much to realize that. How can I phrase it? Let's say I'm speaking to everybody in the chat, and everybody sit for a moment and think of everything that they want in Madden. Like I'm literally we're gonna do a mental test really quick.
Okay.
Sit there for about 10 to 15 seconds and think about every single thing you want in Madden that will make you think it is a phenomenal game, from gameplay to depth to presentation. And as you guys sit in that, ask yourselves, could that happen by Madden 22? Could it happen by Madden 23? And that's all me and Smitty has ever said since we've been down with EA. Our biggest fight has been trying to get them to turn the corner. And it has happened with some stuff, but they so far behind, yet so close. But in terms of a development standpoint, it's so much stuff that we want them to do. Me and Smitty don't expect to see it next year in this upcoming Madden, because there's no way they could do all that in a season, in a cycle.
Yeah.
And that's what we're saying when you hear us say that. Now, we're not saying y'all have to think that way, but you're talking about guys who've been there. And we know, I just had a conversation with a dev the other day. Like, I know what they up against. That's number one. But number two, there are some technical things that I know, because I've talked to devs about certain things, and I can't spill any beans here. But I was saying, I've given ideas like, man, I wish y'all could, make this change. Da, 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 da. And as little as I think the change is, it ain't little. Like, yeah, well, if we did that, then we got to do that, da, 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 da. And Sam, you already know, if that ain't the focus, you see what I'm saying? So, again, it has to come from the top down. So, as Sean Grady is out front, and again, Smitty and I have met him, known him for years. He's a good guy. We knew him before he was in the exec role. It's going to have to take more people like him to start saying within that building, look, man, no more playing around. We got to start going after these things. And, they'll set up their own schedule. But it's going to take that until trust me, when me and Smitty see certain things, we'll say, uh-oh, Smitty, whoa. Has the culture changed? Because I never thought they was going to allow them. And we're going to tell y'all. We will tell you when we see certain things, the underworkings of the game starting to shift. We'll be like, oh, I'll give y'all one. Y'all might not think this is a big deal, but keep an eye on that RFID technology. Keep a close eye on that. And that's why what Q-Face was saying in here, one of you guys was saying, if they go away from that player movement, we in trouble.
Yeah.
We in trouble. Because knowing what we know, that was a significant investment.
Yeah.
For them to approach that and integrate it with real life data and try to deliver it with next gen. And if they go away from that, we are in serious trouble, because that would mean that's a significant investment that they made. That is a simulation aspect. And if somebody decides to take that out, oh boy, it's going to tell us a lot.
Yep. So
that's all I'm saying, Luke, man, is just you got to approach it with a realistic mindset. Why can we expect MLB 21 to be a great game? Well, it was a pretty good game in 20. It was a pretty good game in 19. Hey, it was a pretty good game in 18. You know, so you would expect that to continue, right? You would expect it to just build and build and build and build, where they can sell you features. And I think this was last year. They could sell a feature like more ball physics. You're gonna see the ball, like, and nobody complain because we like, yeah, let's get more realistic stuff happening to a realistic game. Now, franchise, you know, I know there's MLB franchise guys that still feel like, and again, I'm not the one to speak on it because I'm not baseball driven. But I know there's woes in that game as well. But on the surface, this game looks, feels, plays like baseball, at least to my knowledge level. Can't say the same for Madden in certain aspects. And I'm not going to sit here and say Madden is horrible. Like I said, guys, Madden, they just this close if they do those things that we talk about. And Kia's in here. Kia would agree. If you throw NY Kia in the mix and he could address all of because he has labbed this stuff over 10 times over. If they fix a lot of the coverage checks that should be in the game and some of the bugs, different ball game with that. Add AI to that. So make it to where it's not just so much, because Kia talks about this a lot. He hates that auto chuck. Me too. I hate that. I want to see more realistic stuff. Like, okay, if a guy's there, you chuck him, but if he's not, don't just pull him together. So don't make it look aesthetically pleasing to me. I want to see it naturally happen. If nobody is in this area, find work. Go find some work, brother. Don't just go to the grass spot and look around. Nobody's here. I'm just going to squat down. It just don't. Nobody does that. The only people who really walk around on the football field are the linemen. DBs, receivers, maybe if they completely out to play, but they ain't just standing around just squatting down in cover. Like, that don't happen. So we're talking about those things. If they fix that kind of stuff, the AI, they make physics a factor in every single interaction, and they get rid of those two-man sequences that override gameplay and control. And let me break that down really quick. If you're going to have two-man animations, what you need to add along to that is branching animations. So that means if we throw the ball to a receiver and you want to put that two-man sequence together, but a third guy comes in, boom, it breaks it. And everything can branch out, and now physics kicks in. Yeah, that's your way to hide it, EA. That's the way you can cheat. If you haven't gotten it to where it's just full-blown physics, build a branching animation technology that y'all told us about years ago. Even on prior gen, there was a game that supposedly had branching animation. So I don't know. Fix all that stuff, and we're talking about, this is a pretty good daggone game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then Smitty and myself, because we both talk about it, but Smitty definitely harps on it a lot. Then Smitty can get his passing control in there. Yeah. Because now you can really make it work, because guys are not just going to be tethered to the ball. See, that's how you start building. And Luke, they ain't got there yet. So that's why we're saying, before you get it the way you want it, like, I know you're big on presentation and stuff, man. Don't get your hopes up, brother. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. It's gonna take a few years, man. Even if the focus is right now, we go on full-blown simulation, it's gonna take a couple years to get it, like, everything tight where we want it. That's just the facts. Yeah. So I don't know, man. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Yes, jersey pools. I agree with that. That should have been. This is the way my brain works. When NHL introduced that cloth technology, yes, as a developer, and this is not me slighting the devs, because I know devs have these ideas, but I'm just saying, as not even a developer, just a guy who works in the building, and let's say somebody in the building say, hey man, look what we did here. Man, immediately as a football guy, I would be like, ooh, we need to put those uniforms in Madden. Let's get them jerseys and stuff independent. And you know what? If we can't do it this year, now we should be able to grab jerseys and get real holding calls. It's automatically that's where I'm going. And trust me, there's devs that want to do that too. But them boys upstairs ain't thinking about that. You know what I mean, Smitty? God. How could you not, man? I mean, they all. If you watch football at all, you should even be able to see from a casual level what you see that you don't see in your game. I don't know, man.
And understand that, and I don't know if my man Hollywood Sports is if he's in here or not, but we were both right there at the EA booth. I don't know if I said it on here before. I think this was like EA Play 2018, I want to say. And we were there and we were talking with Ben Haumiller and at the time Roy Harvey. And they were saying, we were like, I was up here making a point about, man, we need them jersey pulls and we need all that. And here's Roy up here saying, yeah, that's why we got to go to the next gen hardware because they won't be able to do that right now. He's like, oh no, we want to take it even higher. We want to be able to see, when players, we want to see the pads pop out from the jersey and everything, and have your teammate come up and come up at their play and tuck the pad back in and everything and all that. Go beyond just jersey pulls. We want the pulls, yes, but we also want that too. And it's like, see, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, no one.
I remember having a conversation like that with Rex.
Yeah,
see, he wanted to factor in inertia and momentum and all of that into the reach tackle and jersey pull. I was like, oh, okay.
See, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I don't see, I mean, it's not like I've researched it, so like, I can't say it hasn't been said, but I mean, the fact these guys are like, yeah, we want to see them not just do that. We want to see these guys like pull the jersey back and tuck the pad in and all that. And I'm like, these are the behaviors that you need in the game. And then they say these things. And I was like saying that with Hollywood to make the point because I was just chopping up with them and telling them like, no, these dudes know what needs to happen. They don't need us to tell them what needs to happen. They know. And for, Roy and them cats to talk like that, it's like, see, they know. But the thing is, the folk that make the calls and call all the shots, they have to let them be able to do it. That's just it. If they don't give them, if they're not allocated the resources to do it, they can't.
Look at this game, man.
And I know you say
the details, guys. Y'all should see what just happened on this play. Again, I'm not saying this game is perfect. The last two videos I've posted, there have been people in there telling me, man, they don't like it. And primarily what they're saying is when you get to Hall of Fame level, okay, I mean, you might be right. I don't know. Again, I don't know baseball. But what I'm seeing on my level, which I started as on All-Star and I put everything on dynamic, I'm seeing some stuff, man. It's just like I just had a play here on it. Pop it out to center field, right? I had the bases. I had a man. Let me see where I got my guys at. Man on first. Well, bases loaded. Because right before that, I had my man Polanco was up. He got a nice base hit, got one guy in. So now the bases are loaded again. So now my hitter comes, hits it out, dead center field. I go to tag up, right? So I tag up my guy on third, and then even the dude on second takes off. They throw it to the cutoff man, then throw it to third. I'm like, oh, I'm about to be out, right? Ball gets there, and the third baseman goes down to get it and fumbles it. Ball bounces off of his thigh, bounces up, and my man is safe. It's little stuff like that. And again, it could be scripted. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they make you believe that it's organic. Even if you have a scripted game, as long as the animations play out accordingly, we're not going to question it. And I feel like this game has enough animations to where it sure enough seems dynamic to me, especially when they show off the ball physics, how the ball hits the dirt. I'm looking at the replay right now. Oh, I'm actually going to cut this video. Hits the dirt, bam, bounce. He tries to catch it like this. Ball bounces, hits him in the glove, bounces out. My guy slides through his legs, which, okay, when he hit his leg, it didn't show the physics. I know, I get it. But still, and I'll even say that in the video. Like, look, it's not perfect, but man, sure feels like baseball to me. That's all I'm saying.
And see the thing, and to that point, Sim, that's one of the major gripes from users that play MLB The Show, those static animations. You see what I'm saying? Even though it does sell the optical illusion, they still have those static animations in there. They don't have real-time dynamic collision physics like all around. Now, just think if MLB had that, that'd be sickening. Like the way players run to the ball, catch the ball, run the base pass, collide with players would be organic. Like, what if dude's trying to catch the ball as he's getting hit because dude's sliding into, like, the collisions at the plate would be something of epic proportions because it would not be the same. It would be like backbreaker instances. Like, you may mess around and have an instance that no one will have for the whole cycle. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be that unique. That's, so like that to me would be the next big step for MLB to go forward with.
Yeah,
real-time physics, player animations. But I mean, otherwise, yes, like they're at least like you hear them say on their streams and such, we've added hundreds of new animations, fielding animations, catching animations, all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, I can appreciate that. So MLB The Show, y'all. That's it.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, man. I've said it in my couple of videos that I've made. It allows a casual baseball guy to be able to enjoy the simulation experience that I feel that it gives me. Again, the stuff that me and Smitty look for is we're just looking at things like animation, like he said, physics, and we know physics is not always there in MLB, but even if you don't have that, show some type of hit detection, show some type of weight and momentum. Like, as I'm capturing this video, I love how the outfielder, he tries to throw it into the cutoff guy and he falls forward and hits the ground, and it's believable stuff. The game looks and feels like baseball. And one thing that I really love about this game, for the most part, is the head tracking. This is something I talk about in Madden all the time. Everyone's engaged for the most part. The whole infield is engaged with what's happening. The ump, the coaches, and yet you don't, to me, again, if we want to bring it back to Madden, as you're going to see me looking away here, guys, because I'm capturing the video. But that's another part of coverage that I think they need to tie into. They need to tie into, look at this. Third baseman telling me, get down, the coach. They need to tie head tracking into the AI and coverage. And if they could somehow figure out how to merge those two, because now you have guys, not only do they know their assignment, but where they're looking will dictate where they go and could potentially cause them to be faked out. Like, to me, and again, I'm not an engineer. I'm not going to pretend to be one, but it's so many things I feel like if it's possible in a video game, there's so many different things that I would tie together to make them work in unison. And that would definitely be one. AI for coverage, right? And it all would be tied to this. Where's he looking? If he's looking, at this guy and he happens to see, oh, I'm going to jump him because he's underneath, make him do it. If he's not the best, oh, look, the ball goes through this guy's body.
Yeah.
I'm gonna capture all of this because listen, it's not about perfection. Man, is make that happen. Maybe he's not so good, and maybe you have a concentration type of rating or something of that nature, right? And that would determine how well this guy's head tracking can feed into his ratings. Maybe, a good defender or a ball hawk type of guy, or, I'll even say, just being biased because I'm familiar with him, even like Minkah Fitzpatrick, right? Minkah Fitzpatrick is really technically sound. Even Nick Saban used to say that. So you're not going to fool him that much with your eyes. However, one little side critique I have with Minkah sometimes down in the red zone. I've shown this on Terrible Towel Tuesday when I do the all 22. He has a tendency to watch the quarterback a little too much, and that's real football, right? And I mean, we'll be like on the 5-yard line, and sometimes you got to understand the situation and say, okay, I got to see who's beside me, who's behind me, and watch him. Can't be too mad at him though, Smitty, because for you Steelers fans that remember 2019 season, I was at the game against the Colts when Minkah Fitzpatrick picked off Hoyer for a 96-yard touchdown return. And what was he doing? Reading his eyes. So I can't be mad at him, but sometimes I think he watches the quarterback action a little too much without kind of peeking to see, here's a threat, here's a threat. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys know what I'm saying. And it's split second, but you have to at least, the good ones know what's happening. Even, once the ball is snapped, they identify who might be coming their way. They kind of peep that scene, then they go back to the quarterback. But anyway, maybe you tie that into the ratings. How disciplined is this guy and his awareness? And you see what I'm saying? But you have the head tracking system that overrides everything. He's not looking. He can't make the play.
Or even a player tendency. He has a tendency to overcommit. So he can be beaten over the top because he's watching the QB's eyes so deep and he's playing in so tough. He's trying to anticipate the throw. He's not really paying attention to what's going on. You see what to say like, oh, I don't know if we could do that. Yes, you can. You can do all those things. NBA 2K can put that kind of stuff in their game. You can do it in Madden. FIFA and PES could do that kind of stuff. You can do it in Madden. There's no exception. Madden can do it too. So
yes,
you're right.
Smitty right on point. Right, yeah. Appreciate it, man. Because you right on point with that as well. Like, come on, man. It's so many things. Real quick, just to read a couple comments because Joe Numbers, his kind of goes into what Smitty, what we're both saying here. And I'm going to comment on that, but I want to comment on what Sean said as well. He's like, how about the pitcher's emotions and facial expressions? Man, funny you say that because I was playing a game a couple days ago. I love it. My pitcher, and it was a strike. And I love that element. There's like a human mistake element where some umps literally call it close, some miss clear strikes, and some call balls that are strikes. But man, this was a strike. He didn't call it. My pitcher was like, what you could saw his face. He was mouthing. He did his hands up, fanned them off. I'm like, see, those are the little Luke. Those are things that you're talking about. Those little details that feels like baseball. That's what you want in Madden. Joe, the only thing I would change in your statement, I fully agree with everything you said, except for the they don't want to part.
Oh, they want to.
They want to, meaning development, but I would change that wording to say they don't have to.
Right. That's,
I think, where the suits come into play is they, like you said, they sitting back and there enjoying the fruits of their so-called mini labor, enjoying the money. It's minimal effort. They're like, let's focus on this, and I'll let you guys do a few things, but we're not going to spend time. That's what it is. Remember, Rex Dixon, creative differences. Come on, man. That's what it is. So everything you said there, exactly correct. Yeah, and you just said the execs. Yep. That's it, man. We know. We truly know that is what that's why. When is the last time you've heard any video that I put out where I addressed the devs?
Right.
And I don't even need to do that no more. For the stuff that's in the game, yes, that's on them for whatever they actually develop and deliver. But as far as growth, like I said, when we see the changes come from the top, then we can start having some real conversations, because then you'll probably see us get back into the, okay, I think Madden's starting to do something. This is what they need to do next time. Yep. Until we see that, surprise me. Show me what you got.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe it.
Yep.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
All right.
We don't believe you, man.
Yeah.
So that's all we got, guys.
Yeah.
Woo, look at this. We tearing this dude up. Just playing a little quick live rosters game, since I wasn't gonna finish it anyway. I was just trying to play something while we on the show.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start my franchise over, because that's how nutty I am, guys. I want the real rosters. Because I see that y'all might have seen the video I put out with Brian Reynolds. He ain't even on the Pirates no more. He got traded.
No, somebody's also doing the rosters.
We for all the Padres pitcher, yo.
Excuse me, for all the AAA teams and all that, the farm club teams that you could use them in your franchise mode with. I think they're out now.
Is that the one I think Frisk was promoting? Those guys that used to do the OF rosters?
Yeah. I think so, and I had retweeted them, like it was like maybe a few days ago or maybe last week sometime, and they had like the rosters for PS4 and 5, and somebody else was doing it for the Series X and S or whatever, and they're gonna have those rosters, so that way you'll have your farm club and all that stuff. You'll have all that, and then you can do your franchise from there. So I'm like, sweet, okay, cool. So I'll get that and put that in there. But yeah, so
we just put up 4 runs on this bomb in the first inning. That's crazy. But yeah, man, I think I'm gonna do that.
Name. It's already out. Riding roster. It's called the Riding Rosters. Yeah, that's what you said it there in the chat.
That's the guy, if I'm not mistaken. Sean? Riding Rosters. If you go check out M.Frisk, shout outs to Frisky.
Yes.
He had a video. Not actually, hold on, man. You know what? We got a few seconds here. Let me find it. It should be in my history. I'll post it. But basically, he started off the video saying he was telling the story of how these rosters almost didn't happen. And it's a good listen, man, because this guy, I mean, the length that they go, like, wow, to get this stuff, to get these rosters is crazy. Like, this dude is really out there scouting. M.Frisk. Where's Frisky? Look at Frisk growing that channel, boy. He's up to 61,000 views now. I mean, subs.
Yeah, man.
Crushing it. Where is it? Here it is. I think this is it right here. Y'all might be hearing that playing. There we go. Yep, this is it. And I think this, it says it right here in the title, Riding Roster. So here you go, guys. Here's the link to that video. If y'all just want to, hear some backstory on it. But these guys, if you used to play with the, what do they call, the OSFM, they used to do those rosters that used to be on Operation Sports.
Yep.
And made 30 AAA stadiums also. Wow. Oh, speaking of that, and this is the last thing, then we can, go ahead and wrap it up here. Man, I haven't even started to create a stadium. I said I was going to, but there's so many of them out there now. I'm like, Man, I'm just going to, use somebody else's. Like, I know Frisk got a few out there. I mean, but there's a lot of people I've come across on Twitter that's got some great one.
Yeah, people.
Man, I'm not even going to waste my time, man. I'll just enjoy their work.
Yeah,
that ain't for me. Maybe one day, but it's so many to choose from. I don't feel like I'm missing out by having to create my own. I'll just, find one that I really like and rock out like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it, man. Again, it's not perfect. I'm sure it's not. The people who don't like the game, I'm sure they have their valid reasons. Hardcore baseball guys, but like I've tried to say in every video that I post up, listen, I'm not the one to have that conversation, but I'm enjoying the full-fledged experience in this more than I have in Madden. And that's pretty sad being that I'm a football guy.
But see, you know what though? The thing about that is, and it's like the same kind of effect that happens with 2K as well. The user base gets spoiled to an extent because the quality of the game, I'm talking about MLB here, the quality of the game was the freshness of, oh, wow, what they did is mind-blowing. It's kind of wore out. It's welcome because you're used to MLB putting out a game at this level. And it's like when you only do but so much monumental stuff, then it's going to start being devalued more and more and more because you're used to it. So now those things that'll be big to like Sim and I, all of a sudden aren't that big to guys on the whole. They'll be like, oh man, that ain't nothing. And then we'll be like, oh, well, why don't you play Madden and see how much it lacks? And we'll play this like that,
right.
But see, for them, it's like a Madden improvement. Man, that's what y'all did with franchise mode. Really? All you did is some depth chart stuff. Y'all ain't do anything. But to us, especially when they explained it, we like, yo, they did all that? Oh, man, yo, that's tight. That's interesting what they did. Other people, man, that's all y'all did. Man, y'all still ain't do that. Like, and they'll act like nothing happened. So, they're no different than a Madden gamer. Same thing with 2K guys. It's no different. So, it's just that we value it a lot more because our mainstay title, look where it's at. So, yep.
Yeah, that's a good point, Drew. And pretty much what Smitty just said. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, and it's too. I'm just engaged and enjoying the gameplay, man. Like I said, even now, I get to a point where it keeps me engaged to where I'm trying to see who the umpire crew is for my game.
Yeah,
because I've gotten, I've played probably about 15 games in franchise. I usually just start it up just to get a feel for it, but then now I'm going to start it over now that those rosters are out. I'll go ahead and rock from there. And if anything changes after that, then oh well, it's a virtual world. But
right.
That's the beauty of it. It's like now I pay attention to who the umpire is because I remember from game to game, oh yeah, he calls them, and it affects my pitching. And from the most part, it's been consistent. Can't say if it will stay that way, but it has been like, oh yeah, he's still calling them right there. So, and another thing, I haven't seen if this is legit on MLB The Show, but there's one little pet peeve that I have with Madden and the presentation element where they show you the crowd engagement. I appreciate that. Again, something 2K5 did.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. And Madden did it in years before too. It wasn't as clean as it looks now, but talk about nitpicking. Why sometimes they be having the girls be having the Daisy Dukes on, or the dudes be having tank tops on, and it's supposed to be like a January game at Heinz Field, like little stuff like that. I mean, it shouldn't matter, but it does in a way. It's because of the details. Yeah. Like I like to see, like in sports games where it's a colder day and the fans have a coat on. Like that's just adds that a minor level of immersion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that just drives me crazy every time I see it. I'm like, what? It's the minor things like that, man. You know, if you into presentation.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I don't have anything else, good people.
Yeah, nah.
I guess we can call it
We
unless
call it
y'all
a
got
wrap.
something. Unless y'all got something. Ooh, here's another hit. Is it? Drop. Nope. Devil is in the details. Yeah. Yeah, Luke, I know you would love that, man, because we've grown to know that you're really big on presentation, and I don't fault you. Because what I always say, to me, simulation is just not what happens on the field. A simulation sports game to the level that I want it is what happens on the field, what happens off the field, and what happens in the atmosphere, the environment.
Mm-hmm.
All of that matters. The way the fans are, the side. I know it was a little thing that people joked about, but even the sidelines, yeah, that's immersion. All of that matters to me, especially when you told us about Living Worlds years ago. I want to know what it feels like to go to Arrowhead and play. It looks like the Pittsburgh Steelers will be doing that this year in Week 16. Can you imagine? Let's just imagine the Steelers are on the cusp. Boy, that could be a game that means something. And them fans gonna be going buck wild. I want to know what that feels like. You got this now. You got the haptic technology in this thing right here.
Oh yeah,
I could feel it and hear it.
Yeah.
See, come on, man. You got 3D audio. Just imagine all of the stuff you can hear if it's going crazy out. Come on, EA. We deserve it. We deserve a football game that we can talk about with pride and be excited about how I'm talking about baseball here. How I talk about 2K. I want to talk about that with probably my number one sport. And what is a close second, I'm going to be talking about that soon with boxing.
Yeah.
Only my football game is the one that I can't. Man, did you see that? Man, did you? Oh, man, it's so great when, oh, man, I made this decision and the fans boot. None of that. Ain't going to happen with my football game. Let's see what Kia says here, man. Then we'll get out of here. He says, want to see something crazy. Play PS2 Madden and have your starting quarterback get hurt. The CPU AI will begin playing you more aggressively on defense, loading the box, blitzing more, etc. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. Tendencies. Game plan. Oh, yeah, he's out. Steelers fans. In this, even though it was our starting quarterback, what happened last year when the defenses, particularly the Washington football team, knew, oh, Ben can't go deep like that? Okay. We know what to do. And they did it. Oh, they can't run the football? Oh, no problem. That's what I'm talking about, man. And listen, it's a video game, but there's ways to do that. Kia just said it was on PS2.
Right. Nowhere near as many rating criteria. And they're able to do that.
Man, let's get riled up. We shouldn't be getting riled up over what. Y'all know why we really get riled up, man. And I promise this is the last thing. Smitty, I'm sure, and obviously Kia remembers because he's referencing PS2. But there was a time where I didn't know Smitty. I didn't know NYK. I didn't know Azure. I didn't know any of you guys. And there was this game called Madden that used to come out. I pop it in. Let's just pick a year. Madden 04. Play the game for hours, having such a wonderful time with it. Start falling in love with this franchise mode because, wow, I can rebuild the Steelers or I could win us a championship. Oh man, they got this guy who will tell you about the weeks in the season and the Tono Bruno show. And oh man, I got dudes that's holding up all of this kind of stuff, right? But what do we always ask ourselves after we enjoyed that game? Man, I can't wait to see where they going next year. They did this time. All of y'all in this chat has done that.
Yep.
All of us have said, yo, man, you looked at your brother or your cousin or your boy. Mm-hmm. Yo, man, that Madden crazy, man. What they gonna do next year?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it hurts for guys like us that grew up in that era. So any of you younger guys out there that don't understand why we so passionate, that's why. This stuff was done years ago. By now, if you would have told me after playing Madden 05, and I'm going to say 05 because that was before 360. After Madden 05 and 2K5, let's add 2K5 in there. If you would have told me to guess what the football game would be in year 2021, what I would have said, if you would have told me, hey, what you think this Madden 05 going to be in 2021? I wouldn't even have been able to imagine what the game probably was going to be like. That's why it bothers me so much, especially since it is the only football game on the block. And this is what we left with. We left with asking for stuff that once was to be back in the game. How sad is that? Yeah, I think I'll end it right there, man.
But you know what though? I ain't even gonna hold you, because if you told me that back in 2004, how it was gonna be now, man, I laugh in your face, man. I'm like, man, get this joker out of here. Get this crazy person, man. This Madden we talking about. You kidding me? Look at this owner mode. You telling me 2 console generations later, better technology and everything? Oh, the game gonna be worse than this. What?
I would have thought by now we'd be playing real people.
That's what I'm saying.
Ain't no controller. We just sit down and we just like, come on, man. You would have never got me to believe that we is these guys from the Sim standard sitting here. You would have never made me believe that. Like, man, no. Madden? Come on, that game gonna be crazy in 15 years.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's
it's crazy. Oh, it's crazy, all right. Man.
So I'm saying, it was 16 years ago.
Hurts my heart, man. And it does, because y'all know how it is, man. You know, football, none of us play football anymore. So it's like, a guy's always gonna have a fondness and an attachment to sports video games, because it in some crazy way, and we wanted to be so simulation, it kind of reminds you of a time when you might have played sports. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you played that sport. It's your way to emulate that again and build a roster and build a team. And sad, bro. Sad.
Well, NCAA 08 Xbox version. Better pass placement. I'm sorry, chewing on some Skittle. But better pass placement. The stick skill. Remember the highlight stick and all that stuff. Look, your impact players and everything. It was kind of stuff we saw in this game. It was like, yo, it'd be sweet to see that in Madden. You know, they ain't do it, but that's the thing that diversified this here versus Madden. And Madden had their own system of things that made them unique. I could take players from here and put them on my memory card and play the Senior Bowl in Madden with those players. So I could get a preview of those guys.
Stop, Smitty. Just stop it. I don't want to hear no more.
Before the draft.
Come on, man.
So if you build players up playing NCAA from your team, you can see where they at in Madden after they get picked. Yo, so-and-so's a stud. Yeah, he came from my school.
Can y'all imagine for us guys? I mean, I'm always going to be an offline gamer as well. But can y'all imagine for us online franchise players? Can you imagine how locked in we would be if there's a NCAA exists right now and a Madden exists right now, and they both top level, and we have concurrent franchises going, right? So we playing NCAA, battling it out there. We watching all of these players, and those are the guys that we put into Madden this year, man. But I can't wait till next year because that boy, that junior, it could be so. You talk about keeping what they always say. How can we keep more people engaged? You talking about keeping people engaged in your product. If NCAA and Madden was top notch right now and they both existed, that might be all I play for the majority of the year. Football. That man, whatever, Madden, whatever, EA. Like I said, y'all got to surprise us. I am done talking. Done talking, man.
You gonna get mad?
I'm gonna get mad, so I'm gonna get out of here, man. So, you guys, hope everyone has a great weekend. Don't let this talk ruin your night. Jeez, man. Well, yeah, that's all we got, man. Ended up turning into a decent show, man. We didn't have much to talk about, but it seems like all we need is a topic, and it sparks other things. So that's all I got. Anything else, Smitty, before we go?
No, man. That's all I got too. You know, thanks a lot, you guys, for coming through and hanging out with us and everything. And yeah, you know, like it was fun, you know, journey down memory lane a little bit and everything. It's frustrating. To a degree, it's gonna bring some frustration. But see, this is why, even the Luke, this is why it's so nonchalant. Like, hey man, y'all just gotta do it now. Because we pumped our fists and made the videos pumping our fists and went to the studio and pumped our fists. And they explained how it is. And it's like, we get it. Those guys gotta enable it, and that's why you see Rex now working with Sony, and he's up here making the statements that he made. My boss said, "Make the product, the money will come. Just make the experience." Why is he saying stuff like that? Because hint, when he worked at another company, it didn't go that way. You see what I'm saying? When Mike McFadden, aka the Goo, you know, the Mud Guru guy, he was doing his thing there. They said they had a position open at Tiburon working with, I think it was a community manager or something like that or whatever regarding Madden or something. And he was like, should I apply? Rex sent the GIF saying, nah, son, like, nah, you don't need, brother. That. So now, he didn't give the full detail, but the bottom line is, even if you're just looking at that, why would Rex, who got promoted multiple times while working there, in terms of working on the franchise, in terms of leadership roles, is up here telling this cat, no, you don't want to work there. But then here he is, glowing things to say about where he's currently at with Sony. That says a lot, dog. And if you listen to his interview when after he left, it was not sunshine and rainbows over there. So he had a goal. He had a vision. He had a plan as far as how he wanted to execute with Madden. And he was told by Andrew Wilson, give me the shiny toy. I don't care about all that. Give me the shiny toy. That's all I want. So that's it. That's why we've done all of that. So it's not that we don't say anything. We used to say our piece and then we walk away. So that's it. Call it a day. But like I said, we love you guys. I'm sorry, that was a sidebar, but just adding on. But I mean, we love y'all. We love y'all guys, man. We appreciate y'all guys coming through and hanging out, and hanging out with us another Thursday night. And like Sim said, we came in basically barren with topics, and we ended up going the whole length. So
that worked out.
That's what's up. But
it's cool when that happens.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's it, guys.
That's it, man.
And like I'm gonna keep saying, if you guys have a next gen console, enjoy your games, man.
Yeah, please.
I am, believe it or not, I'm still playing Spider-Man because I'm almost done. Because they all know my story. I hadn't played the original, so I'm almost done that. I paused Miles so I can go back to that. I'm playing MLB The Show. I'm still playing 2K. I might get up on that Returnal. I haven't decided yet. But I actually have a $50 PlayStation gift card, so I need to buy something. So we'll see. But yeah, enjoy your consoles, man. Don't worry about Madden. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Enjoy gaming, and we'll see what they do or not. So, but all right, y'all have a great weekend. Be safe. God bless, and good night.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.